Alright guys, so here's another video that will be posted here soon. I'm going to show you guys how I tie a button knot and loop into a synthetic winch line for a winch to remove all metal from the system and be able to still use the winch line to hook into the loop of a strap, basically anything you can wrap a soft shackle around. Anyways, give me 5 minutes and I'll be back to start the video. Okay, so it did just occur to me that you guys might not know what I'm talking about. So, real quick, I know the video's bad. I'm filming with my phone. I do not have a GoPro for this or a tripod for my phone. So this is a 1/4" winch line, okay? Normally, give me 1 second. Normally, on the end of your 1/4" winch line, this is the end you get. Now this one is, yeah, it's a little bit beat up. It's an old thimble on a new winch line because this is a 1/4" winch line that I had brand new that I bought the line for. Didn't buy a thimble or anything for it. This is just an extra section off from another one that was still good. Anyways, this winch line, I'm not sure exactly how long it is. It has been spliced once because when I bought it a little too short, so I bought I bought an extra, probably like 5 foot, and tied this into the end of it. So basically all this is just the 1 second. So as I was saying, basically all it is just this button knot tied here on the end of this winch line. Those are my 2 soft shackles for the setup. And then you take and you do a Brummel lock after that, and then you run down through the center of the line a little bit. You leave a little bit of a loop here, another Brummel lock, your loop, another Brummel lock, and you taper your tail and you run your tail through. That's basically all it is. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So basically this is your winch line, okay? This is the winch line off that winch is going on the Craftsman. So give me a few minutes. I gotta go do something real quick and I'll be back. Well, looks like I'm filming this myself. I asked my brother to help me, but he ain't helping me. So what you want to do is you want to remove the line completely from the winch. You want to take your line, you want to fold it over like so, and then you want to take it around both with one side, over one line. You want to take your line and flip it like that. You want to take one and go over under, over, like that. Basically tying that like that. And then give me one. You want it to look like that. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to just keep the camera rolling here while I pull this winch line through here. This is a 39-foot winch line that I'm tying this in the end of. So it's going to take me a minute to run it a little bit. You dirty. Hang on a minute. Let me get back to where I was. Now that I'm back where I was, what I was saying was, you want to pull your winch line, the long end of your winch line, through the back side of the other loop that you made. And then you want to take your winch lines, your ends, fold them in an overhand knot over each other. So it looks like that. And then repeat step 1. And I'll bring you guys back when I'm at step 4. So step 1 is the same as step 3 is the same as step 1. Step 2 is an overhand knot. Step 4 you will see here in a minute. Alright, so for step 4, you need just a piece of insulated solid copper wire, or just basically anything that's any solid wire, insulated or not, and fold, doesn't matter how long, fold it in half. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that and you're gonna run it through the center of your knot here, and you're gonna pull both of your ends down through the center of the knot, like, give me 1 second. I'll get it all. Okay, so as I was saying, this is what you want. Now I'm gonna set you guys up here on this winch here and move that all so y'all can see what I'm doing here. Now I've got this wire fed through the center of the knot. Alright. Out for you. And yeah, that's at 0.5, so you guys should be able to see it. I open up the fold in the wire and I tuck the tapered end of the winch line, and hold on, I've got to add more length into that. So, alright, now I got more slack. So, like I started out originally, and yes, I'm going to leave that in there. I open that up, fish the end of my line through, close it back up like so. Then I take and I pull it through the center of the winch line of the book. One moment, guys. Let me set you guys back up here. And I'm going to get this up through here really fast. Pull it through like that. It comes down. And same thing for the other line. At the end of that. This is a 39-foot line. So expect this video to be, probably about 15, 20 minutes. If that. It's actually taking me longer to film this than expected. because I'm kind of filming it by myself. I don't have a camera guy. My brother's supposed to be my camera guy, but he don't like doing shit. I'm running the other one through now. Get it pulled down through. Now you're at the point where you no longer need that at the current moment. So now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna toss that like that, and this line just gets pulled through like this. You just pull it through. Getting hung up on a work boot. Just keep pulling it down through, like so. And that's your button knot. Now, what I do for these, because you can't, it's not a soft shaft, because I pull the long end of the line, the long end through the back through the loop there, and I like to work I'm trying to learn this. I should have practiced more, but you know what? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out what goes where, and I'm gonna, nope, the wrong one. I'll bring you guys back when I figure this out. Alright, so then what you want to do is you want to take the loop from down here at the bottom where it's pinching the long line and pull it, and then you want to follow it through your knot. So it comes up through here, around here, through here. If I can get it to pull through there like that. You want to bring it up around here, and then it feeds down through, where is it going to? Here, through here, back up around here, and then it pulls down through like that. There's your button knot. Now, Brummel lock time. So, for this line, I'm just going to use this wire here that I've already got. I don't have the correct actual tools for doing this, but, you know, use what you got. If you can make it, if you figure out how to make something work, if you watch videos on YouTube, they recommend you using either what's called a fid, or like a splicing needle, for like braided line or whatever, for like doing like boat line, for like doing boat lines for like a ship or something. Or you take like a 2 meter piece of wire or something like that, or however long that is in feet, and fold that in half, and you just keep that with you for splicing your winch line. Now we take the end of this long section of the winch line, and we pull it back through the center of the rope for the bubble lock splice. Like, fucking thing is catching on everything. Got a bunch of extra homemade harness stuff for the tractors, mud mowers. That's basically what this channel is based on. This channel was originally supposed to be a rigging channel, but that wasn't doing nothing for me, so I switched to, I saw a few guys on here on YouTube doing mud mowers and stuff. I figured, hey, why don't I start doing that and do videos on that, see where that gets me. I will start at some point doing like service videos on machines, different machines and stuff, and maybe eventually I'll have my own business. And yes, that business will be recorded by me or the other or the other employees. So anyways, with that out the way, now what's nice about tying a button knot in the end of a winch line is you can use that button knot to help splice the winch line. Which is perfect. And you do that short splice like I showed you on that blue one, like you saw on the blue one. You do that. Now the blue one I did do differently because I cut the tapered end off the section that I ever tied that out of. And got my piece of wire back up here. We're gonna do another button knot just a little bit after where the tag end of the winch rope pops out of the line, the load line. And if you give me 1 second, I'll tell you what I'm referring to by load line and tag end. So, 1 second. When you're splicing a winch line, there's two different ends. There's your tag end, which is normally the shorter end that you taper. And load end is always your longer end that runs off your winch. Now we're going to do the other side of the Bromo lock. Now sometimes, depending on if this is winch lines, it is a used line and it's been clean cut and you just cleaned it and you want to do this with it, the braid might be all loosened up and everything in certain spots. So it makes it easy to open it up and pull the end of the winch line through here like I just did there. Now that's not always the case with a winch line, but I try to keep, when I run synthetic winch line, I try to keep it clean as much as I can. Now for the loop, you want to do probably about thumb's length from your knuckle here to about the end of your thumb, maybe a little bit less, depending on the size of your winch line. And you bunch it up right there, basically as your mark, because on this stuff, you put a mark on it, you will easily lose the mark. You will never find that mark again. And this, actually, you want to go through the long end first, yeah. So I'm gonna can't find a piece of wire I had. There it is. Take your wire and you want to try to put it as centered in the winch line as possible. So about 6 strands each side. I've noticed that when you're loading a winch line straight, it doesn't really affect it because it's just pulling the winch line, the strands of the winch line tight. But it is preferred that you do try to center any points of pull through for the good of the strength of the winch line. Just pull that through like that. And there's this soft spot right here already that's been opened up by, my finger, because I opened it up like that with my finger, of course, like a Dumbo. Not thinking right. And then you just do the same step as you did when you were pulling it, as I've been doing. And that down like that. Pull this through. This is the last step of the Bromo lock before you do your final splice. There's your loop. Here's your short splice and your button knot with your Bromo lock. Now we're down to the last step, your taper. Now, when you taper a winch line, how I taper a winch line might be different from how others do it. I just flare the end of the winch line out and I go down through and I cut 6 strands out at different lengths. And I take the last 3 and I cut those off at different lengths and I leave the last 3 the same length. That's just how I do it. I don't know I don't really know how anybody else does it. But that's just how I do it. And I lost the stupid wire again. Where is it? So I really need the wire to fish that freaking in through. There it is. I keep tossing it off my work area. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure you run, when you run this out, when you run out your splice, you want to go a little bit past where the end of your splice is going to come out. That way you know for sure that you're going to have enough of the center of your rope opened up for the line to go through. Now, this is just like a Chinese thing. I don't think I said this at the beginning. These synthetic winch lines are just like a Chinese finger trap, basically. You just scrunch it together, pull the wire through. Scrunch it together, pull the wire through. And you just do that with making sure that you don't push your wire out the fold of the wire out of the rope, catch any of the strands, almost like I did there for a second. And you take the end of your winch rope, you open your wire up like that. I know I'm bad at videoing this crap. Close that down so it'll pull through easier. And of course I lost the end of the wire in the winch rope. Or maybe I didn't. Or maybe I thought I did. I almost lost the end of the wire in the winch rope. And you just scrunch up your winch rope. Grab a button nut at the end of your winch line. Pull it. Work your winch line down. Work it down. Pull it through. And then this is what they call milking the sheath. You just stretch it down, stretch it down, stretch it down. And there you go. That is how you tie a soft shackle in the end of a winch line. Now, I do recommend weaving some braided fishing line or something through there with a yarn needle or something, but that's pretty much how it's done. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, which is probably going to be the premiere on the 7th of May. Thanks for watching.